This is the story of 2-year-old boy who was murdered by 10-year-old boys. Hello everyone, welcome to Daily Clues YouTube channel where we talk about true crimes. On the 12th February 1993, 2-year-old James and his mother were in a shopping center in Liverpool. His mother briefly let go of his hand while she was paying for something, and only moment after James was gone and his mother would never see him again. When they looked in CCTV, they saw James being left out the shopping center with two younger boys. These boys were Robert Thompson and John Venables, and on that day they had planned to kill a child. They first spoke James to Leeds and Liverpool Canal, where they would drop him and his head. They would then walk with James for 4 kilometers as he sobbed. They passed 38 people on this walk and no one intervened, because when they asked questions about James, they said James was their little brother. They then arrived at some secluded train tracks, and this is where the brutal torture began. Earlier, the boys had stolen some item from shopping center, including some blue paint. These boys took this paint and threw it into James' left eye. They kicked him, they stomped on him, they threw bricks and stone at him. They also forced batteries into his mouth. These boys were only 10 years old. They then dropped a 22-pound railway fish plate onto his head. Poor James had suffered 42 horrific injuries during this torture, and they won't ever be able to really figure out which one caused him to die. Robert and John then took James' body and laid him on a railway track. They weighted his body down in hopes that train would hit him and that it would look like an accident. A train did eventually come, and it cut poor James' body in half. 2 days later, a group of kids actually came across James' body. It was clear to police that this was not an accident. The coroner also determined that the train was not only what killed him, then that he was dead long before the train hit him. This is when the investigation about this murder began. But the police had no idea about who committed this murder. The CCTV with the boys leading James out of the building was such low quality, so police were unable to recognize these boys. The first step they took to try to find them was to try and clear up the CCTV footage, and so they did their best to do that. A woman who worked in shopping center recognized the two boys. She actually recognized them from the day that they took James, because they were playing around before they took him. Both boys were then arrested. The police were shocked when they arrested, because police thought that it was committed by the adult or teenager boys, but these boys were 10 years old. They were able to 100% tie the boys to the crimes because they had some James' blood on their shoes and some of their blue paint on their clothing. On the 20th February, both boys charged with the murder of 2-year-old James. On the 24th of November, both boys were found officially guilty of murder. The two boys were youngest to be convicted of murder in 20th century. Due to their age, both boys got 8 years. Robert was released at age 18 in 2001 and he was given a new identity. John was released in 2002, but this would not last long. He developed really bad drug and drinking problem, and he was also taken in from having inappropriate image of children. So overall, he is not a good guy. This is the end of the horrifying story of 2-year-old boy James. So if you like to know about more cases like this, please subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.